crazy cross stitch lady. Welcome to my craft room. As you can see behind me, I'm back next to the window. I found a really nice extension cord, and so that is helping me to be able to sit on this side of the table. My outlets are in odd places here. So anyway, I'm making it work so that you can see the pretty view, and maybe you'll see our geese walking by at some point. We have, we've had a couple of geese who have made this one of their homes in the last few years. And so they have now brought a family with them. So they have 2 babies, and the babies are now fully feathered, and they all stick together, but they have stuck very close to the area and to the lake. And they've even come up close to the porch. I don't think I want them on the porch, but as long as they stay in the grass, they'll be fine. So you may or may not see them walking by in the background as we go through this. Okay, so I want to say a big thank you to the new subscribers. I really appreciate your coming to visit with me in the craft room. I hope that you continue to enjoy what you see, and I hope that I'm able to inspire you to further enjoy this craft that we have called cross stitching. So let's go ahead and get to it. I know it has been a while, been a hot minute since I've been on here. May was a very busy month for me. And the first part of June was a very busy part of the month for me. So I'll talk about that as we go, because we are going to talk about my Maynia update, because I told you I would update you on how I did with Maynia, because this was the first time that I did Maynia. So we're going to talk about how that went. Now, one of the things that I decided to buy and to use to make things a little bit easier for you to see the projects. I know you've hopefully been able to see my projects pretty well, but I think this may help out, especially with the window in the background. But I bought a Lori Holt design board, and she has design boards in many sizes, and she does have tutorials on how you can make them yourself. Well, I decided that I wanted to do the easy way out, and I didn't actually want to make one myself, at least not right now. So I have bought this 10 by 10 design board. So I'm going to put my projects on here and show you them, and that way hopefully it will make it a little bit easier for you to see them. This design right here around the edges is called, let's see, Prairie. And again, this is a Lori Holt design. So if you're familiar with Lori Holt, she does a lot of quilting stuff, but she also does cross stitch. And this is the 10 by 10. She has some that are larger and smaller, but she typically uses these boards to put her quilt squares on here, and she plans out her quilts. Well, honestly, you can use it for cross stitch too. I mean, you could do a floss toss. You can put your fabric on here and then do a floss toss on it. Or you can use it like I'm getting ready to use it, and actually putting my projects on here so that there's a white background, you can see it a little bit better. So we'll see how this works, and we'll see if I actually got one that's big enough. So I'm going to show you what I have been working on and give you an update on Maynia. And then I'm going to show you some new things that I have purchased, including the board. And then I am going to do the Stitch Quarterly reveal. We just got a new Stitch Quarterly. I haven't opened it yet. And I know that Fat Quarter Shop has put out FlossTubes and stuff about it. And I'm like, no, I can't see it yet. Because I wanted to actually open mine in front of you so you can see my genuine reaction, good or bad, to it. And if you're not familiar with the Stitch Quarterly Club, this will help to get you familiar with it. So you will be able to enjoy the surprise, or enjoy watching me be surprised, and so maybe if you already do this, or if you're interested in it, then this will hopefully be fun for you to watch. Okay, so let's talk about Maynia. Well, there are some things I learned about Maynia, and if you're newer to cross stitch, you're not familiar with Maynia. Maynia was started by someone to get everybody really energized about their cross stitch, or to get them back into their cross stitch. And at first, you were supposed to have a new start every day of the month. And they could be bigger starts or even smaller starts, like ornaments, things like that. And then it kind of morphed into a kind of a goal setting month. Like you decide you're going to work on, like I've got 2 whips I want to work on for the month and I want to make this much progress, or maybe you want to have so many new starts and then work on some whips. So it just kind of became a free for all kind of you do you kind of thing, which is really cool. So I ended up with, I had some whips I started out with, and I wanted to add some new starts to it. And my goal at first was to get up to 20, and I didn't make it to 20. So on the last video I showed you, I ended up with 16 whips in my rotation. And that was pretty adventurous for me to do. And I thought, okay, we'll see how this goes. Well, you know, I got excited about it and I kind of forgot things I needed to do in my job. I am a public school teacher, and the month of May is crazy. Goes right along with my name, huh? And you know, we're trying to get school wrapped up. We're doing state testing, and I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And I really didn't have a lot of stitching time, at least not nearly as much as what I really wanted to have. So I was not able to get to all 16 whips. I got to a few things, and learned some things about myself along the way that May probably is not a good month for me to be making those kinds of plans. Maybe I can make June a certain type of month, because I have to do professional development as part of my job requirement, but I still get stitching time. You know, it's not the same as having the kids in the classroom and dealing with that. So maybe I can do something in June and come up with some kind of cutesy thing for June. So we'll see how that goes next year when it comes around again. So I did get to work on a few whips, and I made the decision that I'm thinking what might be more doable for me in my situation is to have 4 what I call regular whips to work on, and have 1 full coverage piece, because I love full coverage. I've always enjoyed full coverage, and I always like to have one that I'm working on. And I've got one that I've been working on, but I'm going to put that to the side and work on something else. So we'll talk about that as we start talking about my whips here. But I think having those 5 in my rotation will help me to feel like I'm making some progress. Now, I'm very much a process stitcher, but I also like to see things done. So I'm going to work on those and hopefully get things done a little bit quicker, since I'm a slow stitcher, and get those finished. And then I will start pulling from the other whips that I have. They're sitting in my bag over there in the corner, and I will just pull them out as I get some of these others finished. So let's talk about some of my whips and what I've been working on. First of all, I am working on 2 gifts. My former pastor and his wife they're both very good friends of me and my husband. And so I wanted to make gifts for them, and they both know I'm making gifts for them. I'd asked them what their favorite colors were, and then I told them what was going on, what I was doing. And so I'm going to show you these. These are 2 that I am putting into my whip rotation currently. The other 2 that will make up the 4 smaller ones that I'm working on, I will not be able to show you. And the reason is, I'm not sure how YouTube would react to this, but I'm one of those, I'm very much all about us being able to laugh at ourselves, and I'm not the most prudish person in the world. I do tend to come across that way sometimes. When people first see me, they think certain things, and then they find out I'm a little more freewheeling than they thought I was. Not, you know, not immoral or anything, but you know, I do like some subversive cross stitch. And I just think it's funny and it's fun to stitch. And so I've got some friends and who, you know, we like to vent sometimes about things that are going on at work and just life in general. And so I am making some items for them that will become pillows. But when I give it to them, I want them to be discreet when they're opening. It's just for them and to be able to just enjoy it for themselves. And so I just wanted to explain those other two, but as soon as they're out, then I'm going to pull in some of the whips that I have shown you and get those going again too. But these I can show you. Okay, so this is for my friend Angie, who is my pastor's wife. And this is on pink 14 count Ada. She likes pink and red. And it has taken me a long time to work on this border, and I'm almost done. So here is the, whoop, let me use my board here. I got to get used to this. Okay, this is a little bigger than the board. Hopefully this will help. Okay, so here is the border that I have so far. This is stitched with A2 floss, and I'm gonna bring it up really close and move it just a little bit. Hopefully you can see some glitter, just a little bit. There's not a lot of bling to it, so it's not in your face obvious, but excuse me, it will hopefully jazz things up just a little bit. So what I need to do is finish. I've got two more, and these have been labor intensive, I tell you, but I've got two more to finish here. And then what I'm going to do is stitch her name in the middle. So I'm going to put her name here, and the floss that I'm using for this is going to be a variegated floss. What I'm using for the border is, if you want to know numbers, is C600. Okay, you might be able to see the sparkle there. So that's the darker, and then the lighter is C603, which is that. Okay. And then the variegated that I will use for the lettering is 4200. Okay. And so I don't know, I honestly don't know how this lighting is going to work for the pieces. I feel like after I watch the video it does well, but maybe that'll help. Yeah. Use the board, Carla. I gotta learn to use the board. That seems to help a little bit. Okay, so I have that one, and I'm hoping to finish it soon. I'm gonna make it into a pillow. And for my former pastor, this is going to be on, he likes blue, so it's going to be on a 14 count. It's called Blue Whisper. And the colors that I'm using are 995 and 996. And if you're familiar with the colors, 995 is just the most vibrant, awesome blue color. So let me put this up here. 995 is a beautiful, beautiful blue color. And then 996 is just a little bit lighter, and I actually need to get some more because I'm running out. So here's 996. Okay. And I've started on his border. It's not going to be, it's going faster. And there's a little bit of blue and white modeling on this. So this is where I've started on his. And hopefully you can see the modeling there. So I'm going to put his name in the middle too, but that is what the border looks like mostly. I mean, I don't have like, I have to add, there's another element that goes on the bottom, and I'll show you with the book here in a minute, but it goes on the bottom. So there's more to the border, but it's still going faster than hers did. Hers was very slow, but I'm using, let's see, it's Kooler Design Studio, the ultimate book of borders and corners. And so the border that I'm using for, let's see if I can find it. It might be on the inside. Let me take a peek very carefully. His is this. It'll be about the same color. So that's the border for his right there. And then the border for hers, of course, you can see hers a lot better. It's right there. Okay. So I'm using this book, and then I'm using Leisure Arts big collection of alphabets. So I'm using that book. And I'm a little torn. I don't know whether I want to use this alphabet, the one in the green. I've used that before with people and it looked pretty good. But there is also this bigger, it's been used for like baby blankets and stuff, but I like the big roundness of the letters. So I am unsure which one I want to use yet. So if you have an opinion, please let me know. I will be happy to entertain your opinion there. Okay, let me slide this back in so we don't have a great big mess on our hands, because that can take a while to clean up. Okay, maybe. There we go. All right, let's put that there. And the books go there. And this next one that I got to work on is month to month October, stitching with the Housewives. And they have so many month to month series going on. They have, their current one is the weigh-in, I believe. And excuse me. So this one is an older one, it has the barn in it. So here's what this one looks like. And what I'm going to do, and what I'm still working on doing, is I am going to take the bird, let me find it, that is on this leaf here, and I'm not stitching the bird, I'm going to put a 6, because that's the day I was born. And then in the barn, it's going to be right over the door. I'm going to put the year 1973 because that's when I was born. So yes, if you do the math, I do turn 50 this year. I'm going to celebrate. Fabulous 50. Fabulous 50. So I got a little bit done on this. This is stitched on mixed berry. It's a 28 count mixed berry Jobalon. And I got down towards, I had October done, okay, but now I added the pumpkin to it. So what I'm going to do is just keep going down and get all of this down here done, and then I'll come back up here and I will finish up the top and then do my 6. But so the 1973 will be done first, but that is where I am on that one. So didn't get a lot of progress done. I'm actually ready to be done with this one. I would like to put it up on my wall in here and just be done with it. And the colors are all classic color works. Now, you know I normally work with DMC, but I really like the classic color works. So I'm working with, this is Black Coffee. Okay, so there's Black Coffee. Now, you may or may not be able to see a little bit of variegation. There's a little bit of, it looks like a brown kind of in there. If you're not familiar with Classic Colorworks, especially if you're just beginning, Classic Colorworks is an overdyed, which means that you're going to have some variegation in the color. So typically when you start working on a project, you want to buy all your floss at once and make sure that you have enough. Because what happens is, they move to different dye lots, and even though Black Coffee might be similar, there may be enough of a difference where you can really tell when you're stitching, because you know when you're working with dyes, sometimes it's a hand toss as to what you get. So this is hazelnut, but that's also the appeal of over dyes for a lot of people, is that there are variegations to it and it's just really neat. Looks kind of like a snake, doesn't it? I have unlooped it, so this one's still kind of looped. I've unlooped it and pulled it out so that I can just pull the strands out. And this one is Bean Sprout. I love the names to them. So that one is Bean Sprout. Okay, so those are the colors that I'm working with on this one. All right, there's that. Now, I have a finish. I have a finish. been working on this one for a while. So that was one good thing that happened because of Maynia, is I got to finish. This is called Time to Stitch, a Serenity-ish prayer by My Big Toe Designs. And it says, God grant me the ability to stitch the stash I have, to have the stash I want, and the time to stitch it all. So here's what it looks like right there. Now, I changed out the colors because they were using Gentle Art threads for theirs, and I changed the fabric. I changed everything. So the colors I used, one was 718, DMC 718. Let me get my board. This is going to take some practice, y'all. All right. So 718. That's one. And then, well, I can pull it out here. DMC variegated. This is 4022. I love this color. 4022. And I also used C471, which is a Etoile. I love the Etoile. Can you tell? And so those were the three that I used. And I stitched it on a 28 count raspberry Jobalon. And so I don't know that this 10 by 10 is going to be big enough. I may have to get a 12 by 12. So here it is. It's done. I'm so happy. So what I'm going to do is finish this probably, I'm going to try to maybe finish it the way that the Stitching in the Housewives were. Priscilla and Chelsea finish a lot of theirs. I like the way they finish their stuff. And so I'm probably going to do that. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it turns out well. A lot of times you just need practice with finishing, and that's what I need is practice. Okay, now, before I move on to my other stuff, see, I typically have my notebook in front of me to keep me on track, and I don't know where it is. My place, I mean, this craft room is an absolute mess right now. It looks like a tornado came through here. So I'm going to have to do some decluttering since I have a little time now. So I'm going to do some decluttering, and hopefully it will turn up. So we'll see how that goes. So hopefully it will turn up. But right now, you know, normally I would have done my shout out. I can't find my list of all my craft tips. So I'm just like, whatever. So we may or may not have a craft tip this time. So we'll see. But let me do my shout out since I've now remembered it. I knew who I wanted to shout out, but I forgot about it at the beginning up front. So let me do my shout out. So my shout out is to the Intuitive Stitcher. Her name is Cynthia, and she is from Pennsylvania. And I really like her FlossTube because hers is one of the few where, you know, I like all the projects. They're very pretty. But typically there might be maybe one or two where I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. Well, it seems like with hers, it's like almost every project that she shows, I'm like, oh, I love that. I mean, it's just like right down my alley. And so I enjoy that. And I like seeing her progress on things. And then she'll throw in little tidbits about her life and different things that she does. And just makes it very interesting. She's very soothing to me. It's very calming. You know, she takes her time with things. And so, you know, if you just want to sit back and just relax, and I'll work on my stitching and just listen to her. And it just feels like I've got a friend sitting there in the living room with me stitching, you know. So I'm going to put a link to her FlossTube down below. Please go check her out and see what you think. She is just a very interesting lady, and so I just wanted to give her a shout out and give you all an opportunity, if you haven't heard of her, haven't seen her, that you can check her out. Okay, so there's my shout out. Okay, now I am going to show you some new things I got. I am part of the embroidery.com community, and we finished our Love to Stitch challenge in February, so that was done. And they do still give out, for the Love to Stitch and for Witchy Stitchy in October, they give out needleminders. So she designs, Dawnette there designs the needleminder each time. And they're very strong needleminders. I mean, these are strong magnets, so they are high quality. And so this time, the theme was like being an angel, where you compliment people on their work, or if you're being a little devil, that means that you're actually, I don't know, you're enabling people. Like you'll show them some really cool things, and people will want to buy that kind of thing, you know, all that stuff. So this has two little hearts on it, and it's got one heart has a halo over it, and the other heart has little devil horns, and then there's always a needle in there somewhere. So I'll show you the needleminder. Let's see if I can, I may have to do it this way actually, just so you can see. That's better. Okay, so there it is. So we finally got it. It took a while to get this one, but we finally got it. So if you've never done one of the challenges, and they have a summer challenge too, which is more just a merit challenge, but they're always doing challenges to try to keep people stitching. I haven't posted in there lately like I typically do. I try to post about once a week until the challenge comes along, but it's just been last 6 weeks have just been whew. So anyway, go to embroidery.com and you can see where some of the past challenges have been. They also have a embroidery.com and hand embroidery. I mean, it's like a long title. They have a Facebook page where you can post your work and you can be encouraged and inspired by all the other work that you see there. So that's that. And then when I was placed, when you get your needleminder now, you do have to place an order, even if it's just for one skein of floss, but you get free shipping on it. So that helps. But I decided that I wanted some more needleminders because I collect needleminders, but I have all of one on my board right now, but that will change as I get my whip rotation straightened out. But I got one that's called Stitching Pretties. I thought this was neat. And then I got one, it's a little gingerbread house. It's really cute. And there they go. They're attracted to each other. And then one is a little bunny and it has pink roses on it. Like, you all know I love bunnies. So there's my bunny. And they're pretty decent prices. They're not bad. I got all these at embroidery.com. So, and you can also get some really cool needleminders at 123 Stitch too, but I'm advertising embroidery.com right now. All right, now, we have a local business called Dyed to Perfection, and so they were at our last Litchfield Stitch Day this past Saturday. We had a really fun time at our Litchfield Stitch Day. It's always nice, and we have lots of conversations, and people bring all kinds of work. I mean, sometimes they'll do needlepoint. We do both counted and stamped cross stitch. One lady even brought her crocheting. So it's all about needlework. So anyway, Dyed to Perfection was there, and so I took that opportunity to buy some more fabric just to have in my stash. So I found they had some 32 count opal Lugana, and there's a beautiful blues and purples, and I love opalescent. Yeah, I just think it's so pretty. So I bought this, and 32 count is about as high up as I can go because I just, my eyes just really don't like anything higher than that now. But here that is. This is a 13 by 18 piece. It's a size piece. Isn't that pretty? I love these colors. I love these colors. They're just so, so pretty. So I will keep that in my stash. I know I've got plenty of stuff I'll be able to work on with that. And there's a mirabilia I want to do. Now I know that piece is not big enough for a mirror, but you know, something to think about. Now this one is an 18 by 27 and it's also 32 count. So we'll see. I hope my eyes don't start protesting 32 count too. That would make me very sad. But this is a Lugana as well. And purple is my favorite color. No, really? You think? But this is a purple and white that they've dyed. Oh. Now, they say, now with overdyed, you can't guarantee anything. So they don't guarantee this, but if you wash it in cold water first before you work with it, it should be color fast at that point. Now, they have said, you know, we can't guarantee it. Anytime you do overdyed, you can't guarantee anything. But they have FlossTube, and they should be color fast. I don't know if I want to trust it that much. Typically, when I use overdyed, I just make sure to keep my hands clean while I'm working on it. I'll iron it out and just go from there. They also have Ada. So this is an 18 count Ada. I didn't realize the count. I may have to gift this to someone else because, well, I'll try it. 18 count. My Michael Jackson was on 18 count, but my eyes were getting worn out by the end. But maybe if I do it in short sessions working on the 18 count, maybe I'll be okay. But this is a really pretty, it almost look like tie-dyed, like pink and purple. So I like that. And that's a 15 by 18 inch piece. So there's what I got from them. And then a while back, our Elizabethtown, E-Town stitching group had a retreat. It was like a 2-day retreat. I wasn't really part of the retreat, but I asked if it was okay for me to go just to spend time there and stitch. And she said, fine, I just wouldn't be able to like win any of the prizes or get the goodies or anything, which I was perfectly fine with. I didn't pay for it, so it was okay. But the designer Rovaris was there. And so I took advantage of that and I got a few things from Rovaris. And this is, what is this called? Okay. Well, I don't know the name of the pattern. What is the name of the pattern? Oh, Somerset. Well, I had to look on the back to see. It's called Somerset. They don't have it on the front. But anyway, I thought that this is a little different than what I typically stitch as far as like themes, but I thought it was really cute. So I'm trying to get rid of some of my stash and bring in some things that reflect more of my taste right now. So that's what I'm doing. And this one, oh, this has got rabbits on it. I'm so goofy. This is called Carrot Set. Okay, so, and there they are. They're so cute. Bunnies in particular, they have to be really cute to me. It can't be just any bunny. I also bought a couple of scissor fobs. And so these are from Rovaris. So there's that one. It's got a little floss keep and it's got little scissors. So I thought that was cute. And then my other scissor fob is, it's got a starfish and a pelican on it. So there it is. So I think I'm good with the scissor fobs because I bought some from a local lady too. So I think I'm good. I don't think I need any more as long as I have 5. So I've got my rotation of 5 and that's what I'm, make sure I've got 5 project bags and 5 of everything and ready to go. I'm good. Now the last new thing I'm going to show you is I bought this from, this is Lake Wind Studio. The owner's name, it's an Etsy shop. The owner name is Michelle Burgess. So I will show you this information first. Okay. And I'll show you again here shortly. But this is kind of it's almost like a trapper keeper for cross stitch. And it's purple. So here's the outside of it. And the back is the same. Okay, and it's got that on the side. And so it's got a Velcro opening. And when you open it, on this side, it's a built-in project bag. And then there's a pocket in here. And then this side has, like, if you want to do like project design here, and then it came with this little matching notepad, which I may start using for my floss tubes. This actually I got from Rovaris too. It's a picker, floss picker. It works very well. And the ruler came with this. And then there is a pair of stork scissors that also came with this. And there's a little, so it's got a little band that will actually hold your scissors in there. Now I took them off, but this had bobbins on there. And this is a needle minder. There's a magnet under there, and it's a needle minder. And then this one, this also has a pocket that opens. You can slide stuff in there. So I will open this up, and I just use it to put my stuff on there when I'm at my stitch day. But if I'm just going to work on a couple of projects, I can easily put my projects in here and put all the stuff that I need in here. And I just take this. I don't have to carry a bag or anything. I can just take this if I want to. So I thought that was really neat. So I like it. I like it very much. I like it muy mucho. Okay, so now we're going to get to FQS Stitch Quarterly. Yes. I have waited for a while to open this. I wanted to open it so badly, and I had to wait. Okay, so if you're not familiar with it, FQS is Fat Quarter Shop. I love Fat Quarter Shop. Well, they have excellent customer service. They have all kinds of patterns that are easy enough for any beginner to start. So if you're just getting into cross stitch, it would be well worth your time to go to Fat Quarter Shop and look at their cross stitch section. They have some excellent patterns there, especially the patterns by either Lori Holt. And a lot of her patterns, like she would make a quilt pattern first, and then she would make a cross stitch pattern that reflected the quilt pattern. So her patterns are easy to do. And anything that's by It's Sew Emma. It's Sew Emma is the publishing arm of Fat Quarter Shop. It is named after the owner. The owner is Kimberly Jolly, and her daughter's name is Emma. And so that, it's named after her. But if you find anything that's by It's Sew Emma, those are, they use beautiful colors, and they're just simple patterns. They mainly use full crosses. Most, if not all of them, don't have fractional stitches in there. And although I can do fractional stitches, I've shown on here, and I've got tutorials on how to do fractional stitches. Not a big deal. But for some reason, my taste is kind of leaning more towards full crosses. I just like the look a little bit better. It feels cleaner and simpler. And so I am redoing my stash of patterns to reflect that. But this, they have several different clubs that you can join. They have some floss clubs. They have some They have some fabric clubs that you can join. And they also have this club that's called Stitch Quarterly. So every 3 months, you get a bag with a pattern. So you have project bag, pattern, floss, you get a needle with it. Just pretty much everything you need to work this pattern. The only thing is, you never know what that pattern is going to be. So you may or may not like it. You do get a discount. It's $5 to get into the club, and then you get a discount for each of those 3 months. But I just really enjoy the surprise and knowing that I've got a little goodie coming in the mail. And while I can afford it and not break the bank, then I will do that. But we just got our one. We got one in March and we've got one in June. So got one earlier this month and I haven't opened it. I wanted to open it on here so that you can actually see me open it. You can see everything that's in there. I'm taking everything out. And so I will be just as surprised as you, unless of course you're in the club too, or you watch their videos, you've already seen what's in there. But you can watch me opening it. So I'm going to open this, and if you've never been in the club, you can see what's in it. They have different types of notions each month, and so they can be different things each time. But I'm anxious to open this. Now, this is the bag, and all the bags have some kind of little design on here. Now, these bags are very sturdy plastic mesh bags, and they are designed in such a way, and you can see how big the holes are, right? So you can actually stitch something on here to personalize it if you want to do that. Now, I typically have not wanted to do that. I do like these bags. They're big and roomy where you can use them. Now, I do like my cloth bags too, the ones that I have, but with the ones I already have and then getting these in the mail every 3 months, I think I'm going to be good for project bags for quite a while. So let's open this and see what's in here. I will tell you that back in December when I got it was Mrs. Claus. I didn't care as much for that pattern. I kept the fabric because it was a beautiful mint colored fabric, but and I'll probably give that pattern away. So, it's not a full loss. You can keep things you want to keep. If you want to give stuff away, give it away. So, okay. So so here's the bag. This has like pattern and all kinds of stuff that you need in here. So this is apparently called, let's see, the June 2023 theme is Summer Paradise. So see the buckets in the sun, so Summer Paradise. Okay. I'm already seeing stuff on the back. All right, I'm going to do one thing at a time. Okay, so here is the needleminder. Let me get this open. I'm just going to put all this back in the bag when I get done. Oh my gosh. And these needleminders, just like the ones from embroider.com, these are excellent needleminders. That is so cute. It's a little beach house. Looky. That's really cute. I like it already. I like the color of the pink. You like that pink? I like that. It's almost like flamingo pink. Does it match my nails? Not quite. Maybe it's a little darker. Okay, so there's that. Ooh, look at these colors. Usually the floss you get is DMC, although they have done classic colorworks before. Wow. Okay. Look at these colors. Where's my ball? Okay. There we go. Ah, now you can see better. Look at those colors. Man, I love those bright colors. Ah. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's 10 skeins, and I'm not going to take them all out yet because I'm going to put them on floss drops. This is okay, so they always, John James is one of their favorite brands for needles. So this is a John James needle. It comes like that. John James is a good brand. This is probably a size 26. I used to stitch with 24 all the time. I mean, all the time. So Now I've kind of gotten to the point where I want to stitch more with 26. 26 is a little bit smaller. It doesn't widen your holes as much when you push it through the fabric. And I can still handle it pretty well with my big man hands here. I have large hands for a woman. I know, sounds very sexist. It's true though, it's true. Women typically have slightly smaller hands, not me. Mine are very big. So it's okay. But I usually use bowen needles, but John James is really good too. So I'm going to hang on to that needle. And you get back in there, Floss. You're trying to get out. You cannot escape me. You are mine. Okay, so these are, I won't go through all the floss numbers, but oh, they're so pretty. I love these colors here. Okay, so there's that. Looks like it's got a tropical theme. Oh my gosh. All right, let me get it out. There's the pattern. Here's the pattern. Put all these bags away. Oh my gosh. Ah. You are my sunshine. Oh my gosh, look at there. Look at all that. Look at the little bench there. Oh, let's see. They got a little C in the little, oh, it's so cute. Let me put it up here. Oops. All right. Now I'll leave it up here so you can actually see it. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. I am so happy with that. That is adorable. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. I love that. You know what? I have never stitched houses before, and I thought about trying like the houses on Peppermint Lane and some of the tiny towns, and I haven't done those before, so I'm going to get to do a house at some point. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And you see how they finished that? That is definitely a Stitching with the Housewives Priscilla and Chelsea finish. That's how they finish their stuff, and I like it. It's neat. Okay, so let's see what goes with this. So what you get, you get this, which is the subscription, and then they show you the pattern on here. But when you open it up, this comes with every Stitch Quarterly. You get all this information about the fabric and everything. So let me read this. So you get the cross stitch pattern, and it tells you what the value of it is, the retail value. The finished size for this is 8.25 inches by 8. So basically an 8 by 8. Ooh, I haven't looked at the Ada yet. That looks interesting. But you get the DMC embroidery floss. So you get 10 skeins of that. And ooh, it looks like you get a pressing cloth in here. Oh, wow. And then the needle minder and your project bag. Okay, so they tell you what's in here. And then, of course, the pattern is in here. Oh, that is so cute. That is so cute. Okay, so let's look at the DMC fabric. Man, that looks, uh-oh, am I going to have to cut this? Please tell me. Oh, no. Please tell me I oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Okay, this is a 14 count Ada, and it's called, where is it? Let me look on my other part. It is called Sea and Sand Ada. It is Fabric Flare. I love Fabric Flare. I love Fabric Flare. Did I say I love Fabric Flare? They screen print. So it's supposed to be color fast. They screen print it. So it is white on one side. So it's white. Okay, just white. And then on the other side is your, oh my gosh, you all, this is awesome. Oh my gosh, look at this, look at this. Look at that. Oh my God, let me read this. Maybe we can, I don't know. All right, so there's the bottom with the beach. And then, let's see, there's the sky. Isn't that awesome? So let me show you the pattern again. So when you're stitching the house, you're going to have to count very carefully on this to make sure that the house is sitting on the sand, and then you have the sky above, but there it is. So you can see it a little bit better. That window is, bedtime show this with window behind me, and isn't that awesome? Oh my goodness, I am just tickled to death with that. That is so neat. That is just so neat. I have not seen that pattern from Fabric Flair. That is awesome. I am tickled to death with this. Now, it says there is a pressing cloth in here. So this is a 10 by 10. Oh, isn't that neat? 10 by 10 pressing mat. Okay, so it fits on here perfectly. So this is made, it's very, very thick. Look at that, very thick. It is made out of, it doesn't say what it's made out of. It's from cottagegardenthreads.com. Looks like Australia. So what you do, if you're like pressing mat, what in the world's a pressing mat? Okay, so typically when I iron my pieces, I will put my piece on top of a towel, face down, and then I'll put another towel on top of that, and I will iron. And it protects your stitches and it fluffs them out. It doesn't flatten them, it fluffs them out. You never want to iron with your piece facing up. You always want it facing down. So what you do with this is that you put your piece face down on here, and then you can iron it. Now, you can iron directly on the piece. That's okay, as long as your piece is facing down where your stitches are. So what you do is you would you could put this on an ironing board, and then you put your piece face down on top of it, and then you iron it. And this is the perfect size. I've gotten pressing cloths before where they're like huge. They are gargantuan. But when we're working on our cross stitch, typically our pieces are not going to be gargantuan. And even with my full coverage pieces, guess what? I only iron a portion at a time anyway. So this is actually the perfect size. So I love that. And of course, you know, there's a crease in it right now where it was folded inside the bag. Guess what? All I have to do is iron it out. So I'll iron it out first so it's not like, and then I can iron my pieces with it. I really like it. It feels like it's 100% cotton, and it should be. I'll have to, let me read this. Let's see, does it say in here what it's made out of? Always go back to this if you're not sure what something's called or what's that fabric called. Just go back to that. And the pressing cloth, it doesn't say what it's made out of. It just says once you have a stitched finish, press your stitchery face down to remove any wrinkles. Well, okay, that's what I just told you to do. But no, I don't see where it says anywhere what the material is. It does feel like cotton. That would make sense. There might be a tiny bit of polyester in here, but I just took that. There it is. Oh, it's the perfect size. It is the perfect size. Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm so happy. That is the cutest pattern, and I love the fabric. I cannot get over this fabric. They gave us Fabric Flair. Fabric Flair is not cheap, y'all. It is not cheap, but that's just awesome. And I'll show you the pattern one more time because I jerked it away before. I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to be a pattern tease. That is so cute. That is just so cute. Now, if you like what you see and you're like, oh, I'm willing to take a chance on that, then what you do is go to Fat Quarter Shop and you go to their clubs, and then you will see choices of different clubs you can join. And this is the Stitch Quarterly Club. So it's $5 to join the club. And then once you've joined, then you just, what they'll do is they send you an email to let you know that they're ready to ship out the next Stitch Quarterly. And then they'll send you an invoice and you pay that. This right now is like $46, I think, for the whole thing. And so you are getting each item, you get a slight discount on each item. So it's a little bit less than what you would actually pay for the whole thing. Now, if you just want to wait and see what they look like and then buy one off the site, you pay a little bit more. It's not a lot more, but you pay a little bit more, but you can still buy the whole thing. You know, you can still buy the whole kit as long as they have some left. That's the thing. Sometimes they'll have them left. Sometimes they won't have any left. Sometimes they'll have some left and they're around like forever. Like there was one reindeer one. I wasn't a member of the club yet. Well, I may go back. I may just want the pattern, or I might want the pattern in the needleminder. So you do have the freedom to just pick and choose certain things that you want from there. But I've enjoyed this, and you know, I'll stay a member as long as I enjoy it. And so like once you pay the invoice, then they will ship it to you in the mail. It's as easy as that. And that's the same way pretty much with all of their clubs. So you may not want to join this club. You might want to join one of their other clubs. So check that out. I will put a link to the Fat Quarter Shop website down in the description. And I will find the club page and link it to the club page. So hopefully if you click on the link, it will take you directly to the club page and you won't have to try to search and find it. As far as crazy craft tip, I'm trying. I know I had some that I wrote down that I haven't covered yet, and I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm still just so happy about this. But if nothing else, especially for those of you who are just starting this journey, do what you love. You know, we are in this because we enjoy it. It makes us happy. It gives us stress relief. And there are so many floss tubes out there now. Mine is just one of maybe a gazillion out there. But explore and find channels that bring you joy and just inspire you, and not, okay, how can I say this nice way? If you start watching a channel and you get to the point where it's not really bringing you joy, or maybe something they do kind of stresses you out actually a little bit, it's okay. You know, we unsubscribe from channels. Some people may hesitate to do it, or they just, they'll subscribe to a channel and then they just don't watch it. And that's okay too. I typically will unsubscribe. If I'm not watching it, I'm going to unsubscribe, because I actively watch all of the channels that I subscribe to. And I may do it, or I do it in a rotation, because I have podcasts that I listen to as well. But whether it's this channel or another channel, if you find that something's just not really bringing you joy anymore, life's too short. Go to something else. And if you search for a channel and you really enjoy it, go for it. And I hope that this brings you joy. I want this to be a fun journey for us, and I'm still figuring some things out and exploring new stuff. And I've been stitching for quite a while, but as someone who's also a teacher, I feel like it's, we never stop learning. Learning is a lifelong process, and I embrace that full force. So I'm enjoying learning new things about this craft I've been doing for almost 30 years. I think it's 29 years this year. So something like that, 29, 30. I've been stitching since the early 90s. I started when I was in college. A friend introduced me to it, and I've been stitching ever since. So I've been really active, especially, you know, exploring, just stitching on several more projects and not just one or two at a time. So try different things out. Don't be afraid to try new things. Try new things, and if there's something you try and you don't like it, just don't do it anymore. If you try something and you really like it, well, there you go. So I'm going to stop my jabbering now, and I'll get off my little, I don't guess it's really a soapbox, but just you do what you enjoy. You're the boss of your own cross stitch, all of that stuff. But I hope that you have enjoyed your visit with me in the craft room today, and I wish you all kinds of happy stitching. Be creative, be blessed, and I'll see you later.